previous parts 1 and 2 of this sequel, we have learned that the Soviets did not have any positive feeling for Netaji, and that in June 1945, Japan refused to take him to Russia. Netaji decided to continue with the freedom struggle through underground activities operating from Indian soil. He was to return to India, being dropped somewhere in Assam or Bengal. On Japan's surrender, Netaji decided that the INA troops to surrender separately as a separate entity and not along with the Japanese. He left Singapore for Bangkok with some officers on the 16th of August. From there, he left for Saigon for an adventure into the unknown on the morning of 17th. Netaji never disclosed to any of his colleagues where he was going. Iyer was very much with Netaji from Singapore. In 1956, he deposed to the Shahnawaz Khan committee that he got the impression that Netaji's destination was Russia. Habibur Rahman too was with Netaji from Singapore. He recorded that it was decided that at Bangkok, Netaji was to get with Field Marshal Terauchi's headquarters for transport arrangements. But he was not sure about Netaji's destination, as he did not participate in the last-minute discussions held at Bangkok, as he was too tired and took rest. Pritam Singh recorded that Netaji had told him that he had contacted Russia through the Japanese Foreign Minister Shingetsu. Therefore, he was under the impression that it was Netaji's wish that he and some of the parties should move to Russian territory and operate from there. But it seems Pritam Singh was referring to the status in May 1945. He was not aware that the Japanese minister had rejected the transportation to Russia proposal. Gulzara Singh said, Netaji told them that though there is no country other than Russia where they could go to, but he got no contact with them. Netaji told him that he did not know what would be their treatment towards them. However, Debnath Das gave a totally different but detailed information on Netaji's plans. He was with Netaji from January onwards in Burma. He was with Netaji during May to July crucial days at Bangkok, when Netaji was chalking out plans for post-Japan's inevitable defeat. Co-founder of the Indian National Council set up at Bangkok in December 1941. He was the secretary while Rashbari Bose was the president. He had the background of being the member of the underground revolutionary teams of Jugantor and Anushilan Shomiti. Debnath Das was taken into fullest confidence by Netaji with regard to World War II plans and appointed to head the mission. Debnath Das said, it was Netaji's plan to go to India and continue the country liberation fight from some underground center. Japan agreed to take Netaji from Bangkok to somewhere in Bengal and agreed to take responsibility so far as the necessary transport was concerned. All other paraphernalia were made by us from the middle of June 1945. It is on this understanding Netaji emplaned for Saigon, as according to the Japanese, it could have been easier for him and his officers to go to India through Saigon, as there was less vigilance of the Allied forces on that route. Here, we may recall that directives were issued in May to June to the armed forces of the INA and also to the combatant and non-combatant forces of the IIL in East Asia to move towards India in order to play the revolutionary role. Details of the approach was developed and given to them. On arrival at Saigon in the morning of the 17th, Netaji sent Isoda and Hachiyak to Dalat. They left by plane to meet Field Marshal Terauchi to make transport arrangements for the entire party. Netaji and his team then went to the city to take their much needed rest. They hadn't had proper sleep for the previous 5 to 6 nights. A few hours later, Isoda and Hachiya returned along with a military officer. and talked to Netaji. Netaji immediately went to the next room and woke up Devnath Das. Netaji's face was full of signs of restlessness, of uneasiness and helplessness of a child. He exclaimed, "দেখুন, ওরা আমাদের প্ল্যান চেঞ্জ করছে। আমি জানি না কেন। আমার মনে হয় ওরা আমাকে টোকিও নিয়ে যাচ্ছে। আপনি আসুন তো, জেনারেল ইসোদার সঙ্গে কথা বলুন।" A stunned Devnath Das asked Netaji, "টোকিও কেন? আপনি টোকিও যাওয়ার কথা ভুলে যান। তাড়াতাড়ি করুন, আমার ঘরে আসুন," was Netaji's reaction. They all came and vehemently opposed Isoda's plan. Devnath demanded that there should be no change in the plan and Netaji must be taken to India. The logical reason is that even if we are captured, the people will come to know and help us. They resented the idea of giving only one seat to Netaji. Isoda explained that it was not possible to get a separate plane for the party because of the flying restrictions imposed by the Allied forces. But as one plane is on the way to Tokyo, Netaji could be accommodated there. A bit later, of course, he agreed to give one more seat. They even pleaded, if there are unimportant Japanese personnel, why general, why you do not ask them to wait for the next plane? Let us all go together. Isoda replied, I do not know yet. They felt helpless at the new move, so surprisingly made, and that too at Saigon, where they were placed at the most disadvantageous position, far away from their own armed forces stationed in Bangkok, Singapore and Malmö. When the team reached the aerodrome, they found the plane almost on the move. The plane was an old heavy bomber Mitsubishi Ki-21. It came from Singapore and had 11 Japanese army men on board, including General Shide, chief of the general staff in Burma on transfer to Manchuria. Rahman wondered why Isoda and Hachiya did not accompany Netaji to Tokyo. According to Devnath, Isoda was among those instrumental in effecting the change in the plan. The plane took off from Saigon late in the afternoon.